Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?
One way or another.
Hey, Mic Check Waifu Waifu. King Telliano. Is that you?
It's me. What's happening, bro? How you doing, Polow?
What's up there, boy?
Good to be here.
Hey. So welcome to the first episode ever of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. I'm Polow, and he goes by the name of Telle.
Telliano, Montel, whatever you want to call me.
Hey, how you feeling, brother?
Oh, it's great. It's a great night.
Yeah, I know. I'm super excited about this. I've been super excited about this literally for the entire week.
Dude, I feel the exact same way. Obviously, I've never done anything like this. I've danced in front of people. Never really did a podcast. So, you know,
Same.
a little shook, a little worried, but you know.
Yeah, same. I'm a freaking Twitch streamer, and I'm more nervous than I've ever been doing this podcast, and I was streaming.
Yeah, it's so impromptu, you know. It's just like
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with something like how this podcast got started. I hit up Telle and was like, "Hey, we should really start an anime podcast." I've been wanting to start an anime podcast since freaking forever, but it just really had no co-host. And I sat down one day and I'm like, "Why the hell on earth would I not hit up Montel?"
The one and only.
Yeah, Montel is one of my closest friends. Like, we met because of anime. And I don't even know if he remembers, but I'm gonna tell this story real quick.
Yeah, tell me, because what?
Yeah, dude, this is how we met. It was we're from Cleveland. We lived in a suburb in Cleveland called Maple Heights, and we went to school together. 7th grade is when I met Montel. Okay, the way I met Montel was, I think it was like a study hall or something like that in the 7th grade.
Yes,
and you were drawing Vegeta. Yeah, dude. I was sitting behind you. You were sitting in front of me. You was drawing Vegeta in his study hall, and I look up. I'm like, dude, that's Vegeta, man. That's dope, man. Nah, he tracing that, man. He got a picture from the internet, and he tracing. You know how back in the day, how kids used to trace stuff.
Right, you throw the picture on the back and underneath the piece of white paper, and you just trace it.
Yep, I thought we was the greatest freaking drawers ever. No,
right.
Montel was literally freehand drawn Vegeta. And it was the dopest shit I've ever seen. So I'm like, yo, this man knows about Dragon Ball Z. We should be friends.
So the wildest thing is, like, I appreciate that entirely. I've been drawing like Dragon Ball since like 3rd grade. As soon as I moved to Maple Heights is when I started drawing Dragon Ball. And I would go and buy these giant poster boards that was like 3 feet like long and just draw I would draw like Sonic the Hedgehog. This is before I even knew Sonic the Hedgehog was anime. Like, I didn't even know Sonic was anime. So like I was drawing these giant 3-foot posters and poster boards of like anime characters, and at this time I didn't even know they were anime. I was just like, oh, I'm drawing these cartoons.
Right, you just thought they were like normal cartoons, not really understanding the difference between anime and cartoons.
Right. I thought this was American production, but no, man. And that's just kind of like crazy. So like kind of how I got into anime was really, really dope in my personal opinion, because as you know, like, I'm a huge Pokemon fan.
Yeah,
I've played every Pokemon game out. I have done competitive in every Pokemon game out. No, I'm not like Pokemon Nationals good or anything like that. But Pokemon was like one of the first things that made me realize that, okay, this is different than American cartoons. And even though I had played Sonic the Hedgehog was the first game I ever played, Pokemon was the thing that got me to understand that this is different than American animation, you know? So like, even to this day, I don't really watch Pokemon anime anymore, but I'll always keep up with the battles because, some of those battles are lit. They dope. So I gotta pay attention.
Yeah, man. I stopped watching Pokemon though, and like, I think, when was Ho-Ho?
Oh man, that's Gen 2, my dude.
Yeah, that's when I stopped.
That was like 5th grade.
Yeah, I just played the games after that. Like, the anime just wasn't for me for some reason.
Let's be real, that's all you need.
Yeah, true. The games are so dope. And speaking of the games, I can't wait till Sword and Shield comes out, because I'm definitely picking up that sword.
Oh, you know I'm here for it. I'm getting both.
Yeah, of course you are.
I've never not gotten both. That's just what it is.
Of course you are. So you said you was in the 3rd grade when you started watching Pokemon?
I think it actually might have been before that because Pokemon came out way before then. Like the anime
like
hit
94 or something like
but,
that.
third grade was when I started drawing all that stuff. Like I
Mm,
didn't know that was gonna be like a talent of mine. So I
yeah.
didn't start drawing until third grade. But I started watching like Pokemon. I remember watching like the Sonic cartoons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't even know any of that was anime. But that's when I started like getting into it until I started, growing up and understanding. Okay, this is definitely different. Back when Toonami was telling us, "Hey, watch this cartoon," it was actually anime.
Hey, speaking of Toonami, Tellway, nice segue, brother. So
Right.
how the way I got into anime was I met Tell in the 7th grade when he was drawing Vegeta. My very first anime was a little bit later than most. I believe I was in like the 4th or 5th grade. Okay. I got an older brother. He's probably listening to this podcast right now. The artist formerly known as Curse. What up?
Ooh.
We used to live in Euclid and we used to have like these sessions to where he would record music videos because my brother was huge into music. As you know, Tell. My brother was huge into music, and we used to have this like VCR DVD combo back in the day when that was like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he would take like blank tapes and record music videos from MTV Jams. So like he would do that up until like I believe it was like 4 o'clock every single weekday during the summer. And after his music videos was off, he would take the tape and he would, I don't remember what he used to do with the tapes. He just used to just take them out. And I used to put in like a blank tape. And it was around the time when Dragon Ball Z was coming on Toonami at like 4 p.m. I believe it was the middle of the Frieza saga that I started. Like when Frieza first got to Namek and like he was about to fight Krillin and Gohan. When I saw that, I'm like, yo, what is this cartoon? Because obviously I don't know the difference, right?
Right.
Like, what is this cartoon? And then I'm watching it, and then of course it does the crazy like stare downs, and who did he fight first? Was it Vegeta when Krillin and Gohan and Vegeta was around? I think he fought Vegeta and whooped Vegeta's ass, like destroyed him. I'm like, yo, what kind of cartoon is this? And why haven't I been watching this entire time?
Right. Like we were so used to Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and shit like that. And I'm watching this like, yo, this is nuts. Next thing you know, Vegeta gets beat up and all I hear is bum, bum, bam, bam. And the end. I'm like, yo, that cannot be it. That cannot be it. I was so salty. But to my surprise, it was a back-to-back. So the second episode played. When the second episode played, I put in the tape and I pressed record and I started recording it from there. The episode of when Vegeta got his ass whooped, from there until he turned Super Saiyan, I was recording it on like VHS. Even if I would like run out of space on that VHS, I would just keep recording over the episodes I already saw 500 times because I would try to watch it as much as I could.
Right.
But that shit was so dope, man. That's how I got into anime, and from there, like, there was times where I went to Texas and my father, he gave me the Ghost in the Shell DVD, which I probably shouldn't have been watching at that time. But yeah, he gave me that DVD and he gave me another DVD that I can't remember what it was. It was about this dude who would like, every time he would fight, after he would fight, he would cry tears and like recover. I don't remember what it was. It was too super old school. I'm talking. It was like a 1970s anime, dude. It was so old.
Let's talk about Ghost in the Shell. That tell me that's not amazing though.
Oh my god, Ghost in the Shell was nutty, dude. I'm laying down on the couch in Texas on a portable DVD player watching this movie. It was because it was just a movie, and seeing this lady anime boobs. I'm like, yo, what is? Yo, Dad, should I be watching this?
Right though. I mean, it's just you think about that though, like Ghost in the Shell, like. Anime was not super new, no. It's not made in the time that we're currently in, but it's so much more advanced and like and so more futuristic than what we currently have in terms of like our ideas. So like by the time we even get to the level of what Ghost in the Shell can do, what's the next anime? What next anime is gonna show us even more
exactly
than what's headed to the future. But Ghost in the Shell was like one of those anime that was I don't even know if like it was super highly watched, like like Dragon Ball. Everybody knows Dragon Ball, everybody knows Ghost in the Shell, but Ghost in the Shell isn't as highly acclaimed in my opinion as something like Dragon Ball would be. But people love it, and like when you mess with someone's baby like that, like how we Americanized it and messed it up a little bit.
True,
You can't make a good live action of anything.
I never even seen it. I didn't even want to watch it.
Even want to. Don't even worry.
Like I still haven't watched it all this time. Like I just don't even want to ruin myself like that though. Like it's not a good idea for me to do that.
Right, breaking everybody's heart for what though?
Exactly. So, but that's how we got into anime, man. That's some dope stories. I do want to thank everybody though who's like super excited about this podcast, because me and Telle is, and this is our first one, so we may be, working through a few nerves and a few hiccups. So just stick with us. It's gonna get better. I can promise you that. But
definitely.
I do want to say this. This podcast is gonna mainly focus on our top 5 and some listeners' top 5. Like shout out to everybody that wrote in. We're gonna read everybody's letter that came in. I mean, we had 6, 7, 8 letters was coming in. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is so exciting.
Right.
Like, people are super excited about it. So we definitely appreciate the love, man. Like, and share this with your friends, rate it on iTunes. We appreciate that. So how you want to start this top 5, King Teliano?
All right. So you want me to give you one of my top 5 first, and you give me one of yours?
Yeah, we could do that. Right. Starting from 5, of course. And ours, I know mine's is in the order in which I like from 5 being the worst, but it's still fantastic, to 1 being the least. And we got some honorable mentions of two of
All
course.
Right. So I think my list is very like a non-conformist list almost. Like I don't even know if people really gonna like my list like that, but this is just me, so I can't even be mad about it. So number 5.
But before you start though, I'm sorry. Before you start, we do want to say that this podcast is strictly for the people who's definitely in anime like we are, like deep into it, and the people that's not. So like my older brother who's haven't been into anime like I was. This is for people like him, to where he can take these shows that we recommend or that we talk about on this podcast and watch them and enjoy them as much as we do, hopefully. So whatever Telle has in his top 5, if you haven't heard of it, take some time to look it up and watch it, and then write to us at MicCheckWaifuWaifu@gmail.com and let us know what you think, so we can read it here on the podcast. Sorry to interrupt you, Telle, but I just wanted to throw it out there because that's important. You know what I'm saying? That's important.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. So, my 5.
All right, wait, one more. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
So, all right, look, my 5, which was one of the hardest ones to put on my list because I couldn't figure out what to put here. Is gonna be Death Parade. Death Parade was one of those ones for me that like people who really know me know that I always have like struggled with the idea of like philosophy and ethics and stuff like that. And Death Parade's one of those like anime that gets you in that idea of like if humans are reborn or resurrected or anything like that, how does that whole mediation between like good and bad goes, like who's truly evil, who's truly good, what is redemption, what is understanding. And Death Parade's one of those anime that gets you there.
Damn, dude.
Right? So that hit me immediately. If you haven't seen it, I don't like to give spoilers, but check it out, because it, like, even my wife who watches like no anime, she watched it and was like, yo, that's really good. And I was like, hey, if you agree that it's good, it must be good.
Right. Damn. That's a good one, dude. I didn't even think about Death Parade until literally I heard you say the name Death. I'm thinking Death Note. But no, you said Death Parade. I'm like, yo.
Right.
And that show's animation is gorgeous, dude.
Isn't
absolutely beautiful, man. Like that's a big proponent like for anime for me, is the animation. Like some anime I don't watch because I just don't like the animation of it. Mob Psycho, I can't watch it. I can't do that. Well, because of the animation.
The beauty of like something like this, right, of Death Parade, is that there's like no fight scenes. Like so many people watch anime because we know like Dragon Ball, we know all these different anime. Like even if you remember like Zatch Bell was an action anime, Yu-Gi-Oh action anime. There's so much fighting in all this anime, but in Death Parade there's no fighting. Like really, like there's action, yes, but the action is more like drama based. It's like how to get your heart rate pumping, and then like boom, hit you with that big heavy hit, and you're like, oh, okay, that's how things change. That's the truth of reality and stuff like that. So yeah, Death Parade was one of the ones I had to throw on there.
Oof, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Okay, so mine's starting off light. Now, everybody knows this anime, and it's not a lot on my list that everybody knows. And if anybody knows the rest of my list, let right in to, Mic Check Waifu Waifu and let us know. Let me know if you know any of these that I'm about to name off. But the first one I got to start off with, and I cannot, I thought about it. I'm like, man, should I just make this an honorable mention or add it to the list? My number 5 is, of course, My Hero Academia.
Ooh.
that's how deep my list is, Telle. It's so deep. My Hero Academia. I mean, again, no spoilers. It's something that I think I think about this all the time because like my brothers, that's my dude, man. That's my homie. Like that's my best friend for life. I always think about anime that I watch as, yo, Javon would enjoy the shit out of this anime. Like My Hero Academia is the soundtrack phenomenal. Everybody knows those fight scenes are almost unmatchable, like unmatched. Like it's just too great. The story, it hits you in the feels like super early, and then have you rooting for like the complete underdog. Like that's one of my best things ever. Is like the normalcy of just the underdog becoming something great. And we're like the series is ongoing, but he's becoming something great. And just watching that has been just super, super, super dope, man. My Hero is definitely in my top 5.
So,
for sure.
So can I tell you something about My Hero really quick?
Yeah, of course.
That so for anyone who watches anime and reads manga, don't read the manga of My Hero because it is so good. It is too good. The manga will literally draw you in, suck you in, and you have to watch, you like read it, right? And then you go and watch the show and you get super hyped for the show. And then guess what? Gotta wait till October or November to get the next episode or the next season, and you're like, come on, man. I tell you, it's such a good story. Yeah,
it's incredible, man. Like, and that's the thing about me and Telle. Me and Telle brings 2 completely different aspects. Like he reads manga. Like I haven't been reading any manga or haven't read. I don't think I've ever have. So he has that manga perspective, and I have just like the TV show's perspective, and I think it's gonna be a good dynamic. But My Hero at number 5 for me, man. For next, we're gonna start reading off some of the listeners' top 5, and I want us to start it off with one of my homies from my high school days in Bedford. My boy with the greatest name of all time, in my opinion, is my boy Chris Tony.
Ooh,
yeah, like Chris Tony. Ain't that a smooth ass name? Chris Tony.
It sounds like he could be a comedian or a singer. You know, we don't know which one yet, but he could be both.
What? It's my boy Squale. That's an inside joke. You know what that means?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so his number 5. We're gonna read off his entire list. So in between our top 5, we're gonna read off the viewers' top 5, like entire lists. So Chris Tony, his top 5 at number 5, which is a fantastic anime, by the way. He has Hunter x Hunter.
Oh
my God! What a
come on!
That's his number 5.
That's number 5. That's beautiful.
That's fire right there. So man. Dope. That's a good one, Chris Tony. Those fight scenes are also incredible in that too. His number 4 is Attack on Titan. Come on. Now I got some words about Attack on Titan.
I mean, I want to hear your words, and I'll tell you my words.
Okay. So Attack on Titan was great, season 1. Absolutely fantastic, man. I'm watching it. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. What's gonna happen next? Oh no, I hope they don't find out. Blah blah blah. We gonna hold back on spoilers on most of these shows. So just stick with us. But after that, it became a complete cluster in season 3. Like season 2 was and in season 3 just started, and it was just like, oh, what is going on? I kind of fell off of it a bit.
All right. So here's my perspective on Attack on Titan. Right. Season 1, like you said, absolutely phenomenal.
So good.
Probably the best first season of an anime I had ever seen.
True.
Like you take off on that anime, that first episode, like nothing I've ever seen in my life, and it draws you in, right? Like I just watched Game of Thrones. That first season, it took me 4 years to watch the first season of Game of Thrones.
Finally.
Attack on Titan, I got through that whole, as soon as I first saw the first episode, I was like, oh my God, I gotta wait a week until to see the next episode. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait another week. Attack on Titan, first season, most phenomenal first season of any anime I've ever seen in my life. Straight fire. Yes, I agree. Everything after that fell off, but read the manga. And I know that's going to be something I'm going to say about a lot of things. the manga itself just has so much more detail. It has so many there's not as many plot holes.
And I was just about to say that. Yeah, it's a lot of plot holes in the show.
You will see things that make so much more sense to you in the manga because they break it down in a certain perspective, right? So in Attack on Titan, the things that you are currently seeing in season 3, like the transformations and whatnot, they mean so much more, and there's a much deeper idea to the story, right? The ideology, why they're doing the things they're doing, why the world is the way it is. Everything means so much more when you start to actually kind of read the manga and see it. So
okay.
So I agree. The anime itself, after season 2 was like kind of iffy. Like you could say you liked it, you could say you hated it. Season 3, I mean, come on. Let's be real. No one really likes season 3.
No, nobody does.
You might like the fight scenes. The animation is still on point. Let's be real. Animation is clearly high budget. But if I wanted fight scenes, I can literally go to any fight anime. Like anime that doesn't even have to have words in it. I can watch, fighting Fudons for all I care. But realistically, manga is going to be where you're going to seek the quality and Attack on Titan. Detail. Yeah, okay. But go ahead. What's the rest of the list?
For his number 3, is a good one. I think my brother even liked this one. It's 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix. Ooh. That's a good one too. Those fight scenes are nutty.
I agree. For everything I've seen from 7 Deadly Sins, great. I haven't completely watched everything yet, so I got to get into it. I've heard nothing but good things though.
Same. Like I stopped at it's just on season 3 now, right?
Yeah,
that's where I stopped. Like I stopped at the end of season 2 and got into the middle of season 3 because Netflix released it weird. Like it was like the first 4 episodes of season 3, and then they didn't release the rest until like almost a year later. So that's why I haven't been caught up on it. But yeah, that's a good one. One.
So like 7 Deadly Sins, I really like Meliodas.
Yeah.
And like I didn't want to, like sometimes there's a lot you gotta watch. So you kind of want it to build up so you can kind of just binge it.
True.
So that's what I've been waiting on. I want it more and more. So I think I'm going to actually binge that for like next week,
Yeah. Dope. Yeah. Good idea. His number 2 is a good number 2. He got a lot of, my boy Chris Tony, no offense, I don't mean this in a negative way, but he got a lot of like, what's the word? Mainstream ones on here that I think that I didn't even give a second thought to, which is strange because I should have. Like these are fantastic anime, like Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan is pretty good. 7 Deadly Sins is phenomenal. And then his number 2 is Death Note. That anime is so good.
Death Note is amazing.
And I didn't even give that a thought on this list. That's a misstep by me. That's a misstep by me for sure. Because Death Note, yeah. So imagine finding a book that says, just Death Note on it and being able to write any name in it and how they die, and that's the way they die. So imagine that power, right? So good.
That's what kind of made it hard for me to put like Death Parade on the list, right? Because Death Note is in that same realm of like ethics. There's no real like action or fight scenes in it, but it gives you that philosophical question, like what do you do with immense power, or how do we figure things out, right? And the reason I gave Death Parade the edge over Death Note is that Death Note gave us the perspective of humanity, and that's something I can live through and kind of figure out myself. Like if I was in that position, how would I do it? True. But Death Parade, I don't truly have control over what would happen in a scenario like that. So that's kind of why I gave the edge to Death Parade. But Death Note, truly amazing. I love the entire thing all the way to the end.
100%. Like it was no episode in there where I didn't want to just keep going. Yeah. And I think, isn't the full Death Note series on Netflix?
It is. It's fully there.
Dope. So go check it out. Please go check it out. I couldn't recommend that enough. And my boy Chris Tony's number 1, and it's a good one. A good one.
What is it?
Naruto. That's a good one, man.
Oh, my heart.
Dude, now when I tell you, still to this day, my favorite fight scene in Naruto was when they fought Zabuza. That's just one of the top fights of all time. When they were just kids, not really understanding, it's death out there. This is the real world now. All that bullshit ass beefing Sasuke and Naruto did. There's none of that here because this man will literally kill you.
He will kill you. You're a kid and he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He would chop you in half. And the way they handled that fight was some of the best strategic planning I ever seen. It's just great. If you haven't seen Naruto, it's all on Netflix too. Go watch it. You're crazy. You're insane if you don't like Naruto.
You got to see the Gaara versus Lee fight if you haven't seen anything.
Oh my god, I almost forgot about that.
Right?
Yes.
So like Naruto is one of those things that like I'm just gonna kind of give you a slight spoiler here. Naruto is not on my list, and it's just that like everyone, if you haven't watched Naruto by now, there's something wrong. Like even if you really didn't want to watch it, it's kind of like that rite of passage. Just watch it, get it over with, so 100%. We can just talk about it and just be like, okay, yeah, we watched it, we know what's going on. But Naruto, even though like there's a 1,000 issues with it, like there's a 200, 300 episodes of filler. Watch the 600 episodes that aren't filler. Love it. Cool. Great.
As a matter of fact, as since you mentioned that, I'll even go ahead and throw this out there. There's literally, you Google it, Naruto episodes without fillers. Follow that list, follow that guide, and I promise you, Naruto will be the best experience of any show you've ever watched.
I will also tell you, the filler, the Rock Lee fillers are always really good because he's always fighting. He's the only one that's always fighting this filler. Watch his filler. Don't watch anyone else's.
I don't like even Rock Lee. It didn't matter who. If it was going back in time, I just didn't go back. Like, no, don't take me out of my anime like that, especially if it's week to week, which in this case is not, because you could just binge the whole thing. But no, thank you. No, thank you. All right, well, let me start with my number 4, and then you do your number 4, and you read the next letter. You down for that? All right. Yeah. So thank you, Chris Tony, for writing in at MicCheckWaifuWaifu@gmail.com. If y'all have any questions or comments, concerns that you guys want us to read on the air, just let us know. If you don't want us to say your name, or if you want us to say like a nickname or something too, let us know that too. So because we're saying this stuff on the air and we appreciate it. But my number 4 for my top 5 anime list. Let me know if you heard of this by writing in, but I wonder if you heard of this too. And this is
okay. Let's see.
This is from the lefty. This anime is called Grimgar of a Fantasy and Ash.
Come on, let's be real.
Now,
first of all,
let me tell y'all a little bit about Grimgar, a Fantasy and Ash. The reason why this show is in my top 5 is this show does something that almost no anime do. There's another anime out like that's kind of like this now, but it's not quite there. But this was the first anime that I watched that didn't have a super OP main character, or didn't have like this crazy ass, I'm the chosen one type story. Not even close. Grimgar is just what I'm gonna call it for short. Starts off with these people coming to this world and not understanding what the hell is going on. It's kind of based off of video game, those video game anime, sword art and stuff like that. It's just like that, but completely different, because in this one, this party of people that met up, they have no skill whatsoever. Like they come not knowing how to kill, not ever killing anything, and they get their ass mopped by goblins. And for people who plays MMOs like I do, know that the goblins are the easiest thing to kill. Like they're always level 1. You can kill these goblins, no problem. But Grimgar has people. I'm not gonna spoil it, but they are not afraid to take people out. Like if you're not playing this game, quote unquote, let's say that, because this is real life to them. When they woke up in this strange world, this is real life for them now. If you're not playing this game like with strategy, you will die. Like, and they're not afraid of killing you. They're just, it's I don't know. The main character that it follows, it's phenomenal, man. I watch it on Funimation. It's the full English dubbed and subbed, whichever you prefer, is on there. It's a great show, man. And the music and the art style is absolutely gorgeous. And I just love how real it is, even though it's set in a video game universe.
Exactly. And I need to tell you why I love this already so much. Like, I'm so happy we're doing this, because I completely forgot about Grimgar.
Yeah, Grimgar is so good.
Let me tell you, I kind of want to change my list now.
Nah.
Grimgar is so good.
The way, dude, just
the only thing I can compare to it is Goblin Slayer, and
that's what I was comparing it to. That was my comparison.
Exactly, I would put Grimgar over Goblin Slayer, but that's something I can compare it to. But I play D&D every week. As a avid Dungeons and Dragons player, Grimgar and Goblin Slayer are the closest things you get to that, really.
Yeah, true.
Where that's like that original like role playing game aspect where you have
100%.
you have to treat everything like a strategy. Yeah. So that anime is like a true adaptation to it, and I love it. That was a great choice, Polow.
Yeah, and they again they don't become superheroes by the end of it. It's so real. It's so down to earth. It's like it shows the mental side of being an adventurer in a video game. If it was real life, like just imagine what these people see. Like when you get stabbed, you get stabbed. It's not like sword art where it hurts, but it's you get stabbed. There's blood, and like these kids are just like freaking out, like, oh my god.
Exactly.
It's just phenomenal, man. I love that anime.
I'm a little sorry to follow that up, bro. All right. So, my next one on my list, and I don't know if you've seen this one, Polow, but this is a really, really good one for me. ReZero. So,
wow, that's your number 4,
bruh.
What a list.
So, ReZero hit me super hard. It's another one of those kind of like almost like the main character gets into another world where he doesn't know where he is, almost like a video game kind of concept. But you know, he's in that aspect in his mind. He's thinking like, oh yeah, this is the video game. I have to level up and get stronger. And he's meeting all these different people. But the thing is that just like in a video game, when you die, you respawn. He's living that same life, and he's getting attached to these like NPCs or people in this world. And each time he dies, he comes back, and he has to kind of relive that scenario where he's doing it over and over.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you on this one, but ReZero, basically, for those of you who aren't hip to the respawning of video games and stuff like that, the best way to think about it, if you ever seen the movie Groundhog's Day, that's exactly what it is. Like he literally goes through, dies, starts all over from literally scratch, and he tries to do it differently all the way up into that point. Like I'm gonna let you finish, and I got some stuff to say about it.
There's some points in this anime, right, where obviously the action is intense because it has a little bit more fighting into it. It has some drama in there, so it takes away from like the same thing that I said before, where like Death Parade has that humanity aspect to it. How do you kind of sort out these things? But it also has an aspect of like, you know, fighting to defend the ones you love and care about, growing to love people that you may have thought you've never cared for because now you're in this new world. ReZero, I think, is a must. Like legit a must. I think everyone should check it out. It's a great series.
Seriously, ReZero. Okay, I'm not going to say nothing. ReZero is literally one of the best anime in like the entire world. If me spoilers for my list, it's on my list. Like ReZero is like from the characters into the main character, like that show with some of even its romance makes you hate the main character. Like oh god, it's absolutely phenomenal, man. The moment I saw ReZero, it was when I was in my phase of, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give subs a try, because I'm a big dub guy. Like I don't have no beef with people who like one or the other, like most of the anime world does. That's not me. But like that's the first anime that I watched fully subbed, and man, I'm glad I did. Like it made me okay with watching subs, basically, because it was just that good. Like the show and the story and the characters and the death and the crying and the happiness and then back to sadness is just phenomenal. Season 2 coming soon, and I can't fucking wait. Right.
It encompassed so many emotions that it made it like it's 100% worth it.
100% worth it. I mean, you could watch it on Crunchyroll or you can watch it on Funimation, either or. It's a dub version out now too, so if you don't want to read the subtitles, you can watch the dub version on Funimation.
Check out Verve.
Yeah, Verve too. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. I discovered that both me and Mattel watch all of our anime on Verve or Funimation. Like I do both Verve and Funimation.
Well, I think Hulu just added a whole list of Funimation stuff. So if you have Hulu TV or Hulu, they added all their Funimation stuff. So check it out there.
Right. So this is probably going to be the last time we mention them until they decide to sponsor us. But I just wanted to throw that out there. That's where you can watch all this stuff. Just go ahead and pay for it, man. It's worth it. Like Verve has Crunchyroll, it has like Dubcast, it has a bunch of different channels up in one. So you can find most of the anime there, and it's $10 a month. It's literally nothing. great app. It's phenomenal.
All right.
You want to go ahead and take the next letter?
Yeah. So the next person who sent in their top 5 is my cousin, Paragon the Wrestler, Chris James, KJ. That's my cousin. He added an honorable mention too. So that's just going to be a little bit of something. His honorable mention is Hunter x Hunter, Big O. If you remember Big O, right? And then Inuyasha. Those are his honorable mentions. But his actual top 5, number 5 is Naruto.
Yeah, we talked about that. Fantastic.
Right. Number 4 is One Punch Man, which, if you like a comedy, but you also like something a little bit serious, you want to see somebody beat Superman, One Punch Man, way to go. Then you got Tajay's number 5, My Hero Academia.
Hey, let's go.
And then he has Dragon Ball. He couldn't pick between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. So those are good choices. I'm definitely going to say Dragon Ball Z had better storyline. Dragon Ball Super has better fighting. That's going to be my opinion. And then Death Note, another one we were talking about.
Great anime.
So
that's a good top 5 right there.
Yeah, this list is pretty. I would say meta in my opinion, but none of these are bad picks.
No, not at all. I see Chris likes the fighting up until Death Note. That's when he gets into his I want to think phase, which is dope.
It's like I can see that he has a college degree as soon as he gets to 100%.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. So you want to go with your number? Well, we on 3?
Yeah. So, all right.
Wait, is it me or you? I don't remember.
Well, I went first the first time. You can go, and then you went first the second time. So I'll go first this time if that makes it easy. All right. So my number 3 is going to be another one I feel like that's kind of out of left field. A lot of people don't watch sports anime, but I had to throw in Kuroko's no basketball, or Kuroko's basketball. This anime follows Tetsuya Kuroko, who is part of the Generation of Miracles, which is they're all high school basketball players, right? And I kind of really relate to Kuroko because I was always like good at basketball, but never was that guy who wanted to show off. I preferred to pass the ball. You can ask Polow. I want to pass the ball 100%. To you and make sure my team scores rather than me shooting, right? Well, that's how Kuroko is in this anime. He passes the ball. His whole ideal is to be the shadow who makes sure the light shines the brightest. And I'm that kind of guy as well. Like, I don't want to always be the light. I want to shine sometimes, but I don't want to be the one who's outshining everybody. I want to be the guy who helps my friends and my family grow. So that's what Kuroko is. So that's kind of why I really, really like this anime. The last few episodes, like, you would think that a fighting anime would make your heart race more. But I swear to you, it's almost more crunch time than, like, the Cavs versus the Warriors in 2016. Like, they go in there and you see this 14, 15-year-old dunk, and I'm just like, hold up, bruh. Like, you 14, 15 years old, how you jumping and dunking on a regulation height hoop, you know? But, you know, it's a really good anime, a really good storyline. There's not very many, like, plot holes or anything like that, like how you can find a lot of anime. Just overall well written. That's why it's going to get this spot on my list.
Dope. See, in this one, I know nothing about like sports anime, so that's just not my thing. Like, I legitimately hate it. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I just didn't really give it a real chance, but like, I just can't watch sports anime at all. Like, it just don't tickle my fancy. But I ain't judging you if like it. Would you watch it? Hello? Telle? Uh-oh. There you go. Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Right. So I back in the day, I watched it on just another website, but now it is on VRV again. So that's where I literally watched this anime. All the anime on my list I've watched like once a year. I just throw them on once a year.
Sweet. Dope. All right. So I guess it's my turn for number 3, huh? And then the next letter.
Let's hear it.
So my number 3 is let me pull back up my list here. Oh yeah, of course. I don't even need to pull back up my list for this one.
Ooh.
It's another one that I think my brother would like. I told him to watch this one a while ago too, but I wonder if you probably have seen this one. Number 3 for me is Steins Gate.
Ooh.
Steins Gate Man, when you talk about intelligence, Steins Gate is a mind fuck. Excuse my French. It is such it is such a good anime when it comes to just mentally driving you insane. Only because of the simple fact is, I mean, this guy starts off as like this just normal geek like you and me, but he's super brainy when it comes to science and super like over the top character. Like he wants to be this mad scientist that discovers time travel. And let's just say he does in the most obscene way that just makes you like, yo, this is absolutely nuts. Like Steins Gate had me overthinking and under delivering my entire life. Like seriously, I was just like, why in the world is this anime this thought provoking? Also, that has the biggest character arc from season, I believe it's 3 seasons. Yeah. The biggest character arc between the main character, like his arc changes so much. He changes who he is as a person because a slight spoiler, he gets into a situation to where he keeps having to go back in time to try to fix something that he messed up. Mm-hmm. Just imagine the time paradox situations that goes on when you talk about time travel, and that happens in this anime. So he literally almost begins to lose his mind because he's trying to figure out this situation that keeps happening by going back and trying to repair different things and change different things to make the future different than what it actually is. And it's one that'll hit you in the feels. It's one that'll have you thinking and like, yo, what can he do? What can we do? Can we help? Like it's just it's super good, man. Steins Gate is definitely deserving on this list at number 3.
Yes, so I have to add Steins Gate to my list because
you haven't watched it.
I'm a little salty too because I have always intended on watching it, but there's always been so many things on my list, dude. Yeah. I have literally like 20 anime I have not touched yet that I need to add. So Steins Gate will now be a priority because I have to watch it now.
100%, dude. Like 100%.
Everything you described sounds like everything I love.
Yeah, and I just knew you would. I knew you would. I thought you already seen it. I'm shocked that you can find it. You can find it on Crunchyroll or Verve too. It's that show, man. Oh, I can't even stop thinking about it. I want to watch it again. All right, so for the next letter, it came from I'm not sure if they want me to say their name, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. If you don't want us to say your name in future letters, just write us in. But Shay and Will wrote in to MicCheckWaifuWaifu@gmail.com, just like you can with their top 5. And their top 5 starts, and he says at the bottom of this, he says not in any particular order, and he wants to put in another caveat saying that I don't know about all time. I haven't watched that many, but here's his. So his number 5 is My Hero Academia. Fantastic choice.
Of course.
Number 4 is Food Wars, which is one I haven't watched yet.
Shokugeki no Soma, so good.
And I haven't even seen one episode of it, which...
It makes you want to cook, bro. Just watch it.
Okay, so that's one I'm going to throw on my list for sure. The Great One Punch Man. That's a fantastic anime. Now, this one is a good one that I slept on. High School of the Dead. Now, you remember that tweet I sent you about the ecchi scenes?
Right.
This one is definitely ecchi, meaning don't watch it near some kids or your parents or anything like that. But, man, it's the best version of The Walking Dead you can ever watch.
You've seen it though, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh man, it's actually so like good. I was struggling with putting that one on my list too, just because of how actually like I wanted more. You know, like when it was over, you just wanted so much more, and I'm just like, man, what happened in more? And then they just didn't hit us with anything else. But go ahead. Yeah, yep. It's
big mistake on their part because they would have made a lot of money. That's a great anime. And number one is of course Naruto,
the one, the only,
Naruto. He's on a lot of people's lists, so. We're going to just go ahead and get past that one because we said all we needed to say. But, man, that's a good list. And, this is a Gmail between him and his wife. So I'm assuming his wife is, his wife. Oh, no, it even says in the email because you responded, I see.
Yeah,
it says, Shay agrees with Naruto. so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there for her. Yeah, but that's a good one. Right, now the top 5. What's my number 2, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Ready for this one?
I want to hear it.
I guess we don't need to even go into that much detail. It's ReZero. It was on my list at number 2. That's one of my highest animes because of everything we said earlier. What a great anime, man. If you haven't seen it, it's one I can recommend probably to anybody that doesn't even watch anime or have you enthralled. It's fantastic.
It's just so good.
It's
and
so
see, I'm glad we have something together on the list.
Yeah, right.
Because that just means to us shows how strong that anime place is, like how strong it is. Like
Yeah.
We've watched tons of anime, and for that one to be consistent on the list means something.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Number one.
Oh wait, you gonna jump straight to your number one?
No, I was doing a little drop for you.
Right. Okay. All right. So this one is one that I don't think many people know about, but it's similar to one of Tajay's favorite anime that he sent me a while ago. My boy Polow used to tell me about the Asterisk War. Well,
yeah.
I have one that's actually very similar, but it's not.
I think I know what it is.
It's called Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
I knew it. It's just so similar to Asterisk War.
It's so similar. I think the biggest difference is that in Asterisk War, the main character has like a ridiculous amount of power, and he has to unlock it. Whereas in Chivalry of a Failed Knight, the guy is basically a bum. Like he has no power really. He has to literally give his very like life force, he has to bleed from his body itself in order to be stronger and beat the people he's fighting against. And in the anime, he ends up fighting one of the strongest people that you would know of, and obviously with plot armor, as we all know, there's triumph. But this is one of those anime that my main reason for enjoying it so much is that you see the underdog literally give his all to beat these people with ridiculous, amazing power. It's that same feeling you get from My Hero, right? Where you see Deku has no power, and then he has the best power in the world, but he's still trying to unlock it and become better with it. Same thing. The main character's name is Iki Kuragane. And as you kind of dive into this, the storyline itself, you kind of realize that the dude, his family may have not loved him, all these different things. He's fighting all these different people who are clearly you would look at these people and say, ooh, nope, even if I could do what he did, I'm not fighting that person. That's just no, it's not happening. But he does it anyway, and he triumphs, and that's what makes it so good. Is that he's not doing it. He's not trying to be trash. He's trying to be as good as possible. Exactly. So I definitely think it's worth it. There's only one season because they haven't turned the rest of the novels into actual anime yet. But the novels are also really good, and the storyline is amazing. So I say that's one you want to check out.
That's a good one. I love that one for the fact is that you work to get strong. Not a lot of anime shows the hard work and dedication like that. Yeah,
literally blood.
Yeah, exactly. And that's gonna be for an anime that we talk about. Yeah, that's a good one. You wanna take the next letter?
Yeah. So my next one is from my one of my D&D pals, Jacob. He actually has a top 5. One of his top 5s is Bastard, which is one I was like, dude, I have that on my list. I have not checked it out yet.
Me either.
But I'm just yo, why am I slacking? I need to pick it up. Obviously, this is a really good one. This number 4 is Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh yeah, modern day one.
So Rising of the Shield Hero, if you didn't know, the first episode had a lot of controversy. It was an hour-long episode.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of controversy, especially being an episode that came out this year. With the climate of this year, it had a lot of controversy with it, but it's still a very good anime. And I think there's never been truly a bad episode in this.
No.
Number 3 is Berserk. Oh, hold up. You didn't like Berserk, Polow?
No.
Oh, man. No. So look.
So there's a difference between, I tried to watch Berserk, couldn't get into it. Okay. The movies is where it's at. The movies that's encompassing the entire anime series. I think it's a three movie series or something.
Yeah.
Those you can watch and enjoy, but the show, I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
So I'll give you that. And obviously that might be on another episode or another podcast. But the storyline for Berserk, in my opinion, I really like. Obviously, different portrayals are going to show it different. Movies versus anime. So I do agree with you on that. But I do absolutely. I actually personally, I didn't mind the anime. I loved the grimy, dark.
Oh yeah, it's definitely dark.
It made me feel like it was the Dark Souls of anime.
Yeah, like it was super heavy. Like it had a lot of like literally like it felt like it was just a weight that we just was carrying on our back the entire
series. If you watched it and you like didn't feel any empathy, I kind of think you're a psychopath.
That's you're a lunatic.
Yeah. All right. 100%. Number 2, Fist of North Star.
I'm not familiar. I'm not here.
All right. So
this is the most unique list that we got, I think, in email though.
Well, yeah. He has a pretty unique list. Fist of North Star though, amazing fighting anime. Definitely a good one for everyone to check out. Like I said, I'm not trying to give out too many spoilers in here, but you want to see somebody explode, watch Fist of North Star. All hand-to-hand combat.
I am not about to let you just pass through that. Did you just say if you want to watch somebody explode?
Yeah.
What?
All hand-to-hand combat. Just watch it. Fist of North Star. Great anime. And then his number 1.
Ooh, I like this one.
If I don't have people kind of like hype for this one, I'm kind of gonna be disappointed. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh God, such a good anime. Spirit God. Oh,
right?
So good.
That's all I'm saying. That's all we got to say, right?
No,
do
that's
I have to explain more? Is Yu Yu Hakusho? I mean, from the same writers of Hunter x Hunter, and this is the predecessor, but in a whole nother universe. Yu Yu Hakusho is it. If you don't love it, if you've never heard of it, definitely should try it out. Check it out.
It's one of those ones where, like, if you try to watch it now, if you're not in anime like already, and you try to watch it now, you're not gonna like it because of the animation style. The art style is that old 1980, late 80s, early 90s art style that not a lot of people like, but it's if you could look past that and stick with it, it'll be worth it 110%.
110%. I entirely agree. And if you like that one, the really nice thing about that is it's very easy to go from that one to almost any other anime.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one of those anime that gets you into it and kind of lets you grow into other things.
All right, so
here we go.
I guess we're gonna go to my number 1.
Polow, all I gotta say is this: if you pick my number 1, we gonna have a problem.
Wait, didn't you already do your number 1?
No, that was my number 2.
Wait. Oh, that was your number 2?
Yeah, this is your number 1. And then I'll give you my number 1 after that. This is your number 1. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, this is your number 1. Let's hear it.
Well, I guarantee you this is not your number 1. I absolutely guarantee it.
All right.
Now, nobody's going to know about this anime unless you're already in an anime. Okay, you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
It's Clannad.
Come on.
That is my number 1 anime. Now, let me tell you why that's my number 1 anime.
Let's hear it.
This was the very first anime that I've watched in my entire life that made me fucking cry.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I consider myself kind of a tough guy. Like, I can hold my own. I can take care of business, but I fucking cry like a biznitch. Excuse my French. Like, I was shedding tears. Like, it wasn't just like that one tear you get when you see a heartfelt commercial or Iron Man in the Avengers Endgame. No, not that tear. I bawled my eyes out at this show. This show is the show I recommend to couples. The show that I recommend to just people looking for something a lot more relaxing. No fight scenes, no crazy star like main character. The main character is actually a delinquent, and it's a slice of life animated. I can't recommend it enough. Like, the anime literally had me crying tears. Like, and I would never forget this anime just for that. And I can't watch it again because of it. And the soundtrack alone makes me want to cry. I'm gonna just be 100% real with you. And I'm a man amongst men and shit. I get emotional when it comes to that one. Yeah,
I know you. That's a good one.
That one hurt me so bad.
Look, when you recommended it to me, I had to go and watch it. So, brother.
Yeah, it's good, man. Good.
I feel it. All right. So here's my number 1. I actually thought you might pick this one too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little surprised it's not on your list. But all right, you ready for this?
Oh yeah.
This is technically like two, but they're from the same, storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night. And I need you to understand that, like, really it was Fate Zero that got me into it.
Of course, no, because that's OG.
But Fate Stay Night is what kind of like made it really, really stick, because Fate Zero hit me with some stuff that made me like, this is really, really good, and I want it more. Fate Stay series and then the actual movie itself was all like just such a good congregation of things that I literally have to watch it every year. Like I watch it, I have to watch it. There's no questions about that. Fate Zero, I don't know if you remember, but Iskander, the writer, he was the actual representation of Alexander the Great.
Yep.
When you talk about you cried in anime, boom, he hit me. That actually made me cry. He was actually when I thought about naming my son's name is Apollo Alexander Williams. Iskander is actually Alexander the Great, and he made me realize that's what I want to name my son, is Alexander, for Alexander the Great, because he's a conqueror, he's a world traveler. There's, that's just what he is. He doesn't settle. He loves all of the people who he travels with. He doesn't treat anyone like crap. If you're going to be with him, you're going to be a man amongst men. You're going to be a world traveler. You're going to be a hero. Yep. No matter who you are, you can be the weakest man in his list, the weakest man in his group. But the weakest man in his group, as a unit, there were thousands and millions of people who fought in his army, in the anime, and they all were willing to die for this man because of how motivational he was, how strong of a persona he was, So that's why, Fate Stay was great, but also, or Fate Zero was great, but Fate Stay just kind of also confirmed why I love Gilgamesh as well.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Of course.
Because Gilgamesh is douchebag who has entirely too much power. Yep. But let's be real, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's 100% solid gold amazing. You know, and you like just literally. So that's my number one. I have to watch it. I have to watch it once a year, if not twice.
That's a good one. It's not in my list because it just, I don't know, something about the combat was phenomenal, but something about the storyline and the way it progressed felt a little rushed at the end of me. And that's the only reason why it wasn't in my top 5. And it seems like it's because it's more to it that they just didn't have time to fit in those episodes.
I agree. Anything you have to break into 2 pieces or separate from like make 2 different storylines, that always feels a little bit different.
Super weird.
That's why that's why no one likes Dragon Ball GT. But
100%.
But it just resonated with me too much for me not to love it.
That's a fantastic one. All right, so you want to list off your top 5 again real quick to just give a reminder to the people? Hello?
Yeah. My honorable mentions?
No. Oh.
Or do you want to go straight to the next person?
No, let's just list off your top 5 since we're at number 1, since that's number 1.
All right. So my top 5 was Death Parade, ReZero, Kuriko's Basketball,
number 3,
Chivalry Fell Night,
number 2,
Fate Stay / Fate Night, Fate Zero.
Number 1. Dope. And I'm gonna go through mine really quick before we continue on with the letters, because we still have a few more letters, and we're gonna get back to it, and then we're gonna mention our honorable mention between that. But my top 5 was My Hero Academia. Number 4, Grimgar. Number 3, Steins Gate. Number 2, ReZero. And number 1, Clannad. Oh God, I can't. Every time I even think about it, I get teary.
All that's just so good.
It's so good. And so like, good. If we can't recommend anything, we just recommend these 5 or 9 technically, because we have the same one. These non-anime, we couldn't recommend them enough. Like, you gotta watch them. But we're gonna get back into these letters. So you want me to read the next one, or?
Yes, sir. It's your turn.
Sweet. All right. This letter is from Shane Winning. He or she wrote in from at Mic Check Waifu at gmail.com, just like you can with his top 5. His top 5 anime would be, he says, number 5, Samurai Champloo. Oh God, Samurai Champloo, man,
great. Let's talk about the music on there, though.
real quick, let me finish reading his report. He has in parentheses, I love the fight and the animation, and the soundtrack is pretty dope too, is what he says for number 5 is Samurai Champloo. This is one that I recommend to Javon too. Like, yo, if you don't listen to anything I say, watch Samurai Champloo because you will enjoy that probably more than any other anime I've ever. It's phenomenal. I can't believe that's his number 5.
Ooh, right.
Number
Since
4.
you put on the list kind of just changes. But go ahead.
Exactly. Like you just rethink of everything else. His number 4 is Future Diary.
Yeah.
he says I watched this anime multiple times. It's a little bit of a mind fuck, laugh out loud, but I haven't. Future Diary is one that I didn't remember until I read it, and that's not good. But the anime is really good. Like Future Diary is when you heard about this one.
Well, I actually had to check it out after checking out some of these like letters. I had to check it out and see what it was about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like being able to tell the future with a cell phone. It's a great anime and super mind fuck. His next one is his number 3 is the whole Dragon Ball series. It's probably the first anime I watched. It started his interest in anime, which is relatable to me because obviously that's how I got in anime.
Of course.
Number 2, guy, his list is phenomenal.
It is.
His list is really good. Hunter x Hunter. My favorite part is when the Gon fight. How do you say the name? Pito?
Pito?
Yeah, Pito. Yeah. Pito. So good. He just snaps and beat the. He says, "I'm sorry, I'm finished reading with these." He just snaps and beats the fuck out of her. I wasn't ready for that how brutal it was going to be. It's super violent. Like
Hunter x Hunter almost made it on my list just for that moment itself. Yeah. Like hands down, best transformation in all of anime.
Yeah, and when you sent me that fight, that's when I watched the entire series.
Hands down, I'm not joking. Best transformation. It was like, oh, okay, so you lied to me. Here's these hands. That's basically what it was.
The best part about that is it was for a reasonable reason.
It was.
When you watch that show, you just be like, damn, yeah, no, I feel you, dude. I'm with you.
Gon Freaks is no joke, period.
Yeah, no joke at all. And his number 1, which is something we're going to get into probably a little later, One Piece. I'm currently watching through for the first time. I'm only on season 4, episode 239. It just goes to show you how crazy One Piece is. But I'm loving it. I just got to the part with was Usopp?
Usopp,
his leaving the Straw Hats and going Mary. I don't know what that means. It's fucked up beyond repair. I legit wanted to cry. This show hits you in the feels hard as fuck all the time. It's great. Laugh out loud.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Wait, before you start that, I never watched One Piece.
I'm not gonna tell you any spoilers. No spoilers.
Probably won't watch it.
Other than the fact that you're gonna cry. Just watch it. Continue watching it. You're gonna cry at one of the episodes that's completely stupid because you're right there. You're almost there at this episode that will make you cry tears over something that you would have never thought would be sad. But then you're gonna get to an episode where there's nothing but action, and then you're still gonna cry. It's. I didn't put One Piece on my list because of the fact that
it's just like 59 episodes or whatever.
No, not even that, because I'm caught up on One Piece. I know what's going on. I've read the manga. I'm ahead of where the anime is. So my issue with One Piece is that it's already so good that I can't put it on my list. You know, like if you haven't caught up or haven't seen it, you're just missing out on some things here. And I definitely think that everyone should catch up on it and just watch it. We can't be mad at One Piece. One Piece is great.
I don't know. It's just when I look at 700 and whatever, how many episodes it is, like I get anxiety. Like my anxiety flares up. I freak out. Like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too much. It's too much.
Nah, you're not wrong. I understand. One Piece is great though. I definitely recommend it to anyone who wants the either a beginner anime or something that's going to take you all the way for the long haul. It's both of those.
100%. You want to read the next letter before we get into our honorable mention? We're going to finish off the letters and get to our mentions.
Yeah. So my next one is from my boy Kwesi, who Polow, if you remember Kwesi, we used to walk home from school with him in middle school. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, my boy's out here in Florida with me now.
No way.
Yeah. So he starts off his honorable mention with Baki, which is another fighting anime.
Yeah, that's a good one. Baki's so good.
I'm just like, let's go. So Baki is another really great series, another really great fighting anime if you like watching fighting. But that's his honorable mention. Number 5 is one that we have not brought up yet. And I'm just like, how have we not talked about this one yet? Because I was certain someone would bring this up. Bleach.
Oh yeah.
No one said anything about Bleach. No one cares about Ichigo. I have Ichigo's Zanpakuto at home right now.
I know you do. I remember that. So I don't like it. I don't like Bleach. Hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. And there's a reason for that.
I mean, I'll be
I think everybody knows the reason.
I personally, I skipped all the filler.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's probably what I
only watched to me what was important. And even in the manga, there's still so many better things that they didn't digress on in the anime. But Bleach, number 4, Naruto Shippuden, which
is different than Naruto, but
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia, and then he ended his number 1 off with One Punch Man.
I see. He's a big fighting guy. I see that.
Everything on his list has action. Everything is action, and I mean there's nothing wrong with that because everyone's taste is different. The action is where his heart is, and I love that because that's where some of us are. I mean, on my honorable mentions, I have some action there. I think everything on my honorable mentions is action.
Dope.
So I'm just gonna be real. So I can't be mad at that list.
That's a pretty damn good list too, though. And the only one I don't agree with is how that goes.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna read the next letter. Who we got here? Ty Jones. Ty Jones writes in with his top 5 and says he just has nothing else added to it. But number 5 is Demon Slayer. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. What a
Demon Slayer anime.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So good. Number 4, My Hero Academia. Of course. Great. Dragon Ball Z, of course, the GOAT, one of the GOATs. Number 2, though, is one we haven't mentioned, which is blasphemy. It's Full Metal Alchemist. Now, I'm assuming he means Brotherhood because that's the only one that matters to me. But Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I'm going to go ahead and change that for you, Ty Jones.
No, I work with him. So, that's the one he means.
Okay, cool.
I will throw in, though, that I enjoy thoroughly both of them.
Oh, God, so good.
I have watched and loved 100% of both of them. Brotherhood, I think, is the superior one.
No, 100%.
But I like both of them.
And then his number 1 is Outlaw Star, which is an old-ass one.
It is. It's an old one. It's a goodie, though, because it has all of the combat that you want, but it also goes out into space. So that's a really good one for your list. So if that's one you're looking at, I think that's a great one for everyone to go off of.
Outlaw. Okay. All right. What else we got? I think I got a tweet too.
I have one more as well.
Okay, go ahead.
So my boy Eric from North Carolina, his top 5. So he actually has one on here that I had never heard of before. His number 5 is Blue Sub 6, which that's what I said. I was like, I was like, hold up, what is this? What is Blue Sub 6? And so the art style on here is absolutely amazing. It's an older anime, but it's Blue Submarine number 6 is what it is. It's based on the submarine and aliens on here. Apparently, it was on Toonami years ago, and we just missed it. But it was a 1998 series. So I'm actually going to check this out because I haven't actually disagreed with anything he's ever looked at as anime. So I feel like I definitely have to check this one out. His number 4 is Hunter x Hunter, which obviously is a banger. Number 3, if anyone remembers this, and I have to say this, if anyone remembers this, Robotech.
Oh God, how old is he?
he's our age, Polo. He's our age. Yeah. So, yeah, right.
Oh, that's great.
Robotech is on his list, and I'm just like, I also think that's a great choice. It's not going to be in my honorable mentions, but I like that he clearly has the regard for the history of anime, so that's a great choice. Number 2 is Shield Hero, which I remember his estimation for Shield Hero being number 2 was that he was able to watch the entire season or catch up in one day because it was so good.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that just goes for how good it is. But there's a lot of anime that's that good, but Shield Hero is that good, yes. And then his number 1 is another really good one. Polo, I hope you like this one because I love this one. Trigun.
Yes, dude. Yes.
That's all.
Yes. Oh,
Trigun. His number one is Trigun, and I'm just like,
that's so funny.
I can
so
take
good.
that one.
That's so good, dude. Oh, that's so good. That's phenomenal.
Thank you, Eric, for your list.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. And I got this one tweet, of course, because Craft Chest decides not to write into the email like everybody else did, but he tweeted me at Polow Bornfly and said his top 5, number 8. I was supposed to stop at 5, number 7, and then he asked somebody named Forever World because he's the best.
God. Yeah, Forever World.
Just to piss off gun toads. Sword Art Online, all of them. That, I mean, okay, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later here in a second. Number 5, his actual list is Trinity Blood. That's a good one.
Yes.
Oh, his number 4, Welcome to NHK. That's a good one.
Oh,
I didn't you look that up, dude. That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. His number 3 is one with one of these crazy names, man. I'm not good with these Japanese names, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try anyway. It's called Kiyu no Go no Ni. Kiyu no Go no Ni.
Polo, I don't even know what that means. You got to find an English name for me, brother.
Me too. Yeah. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have Craft Chest tell me about that later. His number 2 is My Hero Academia, which is a great number 2. And his number 1 is one I can't agree with, and it's Berserk. He says, and winter, period, Berserk.
So that's one thing, is obviously there's going to be anime where people specifically love those anime and they're like big fans. Berserk is one of those anime where it's like that, almost like that cult following where if you love it, you love it. But
yeah, true.
I like Berserk. Not going to be my number 1, not going to be on my top 5, but I definitely think it's worth watching. But obviously, like I said, everyone has their own opinion. Go ahead.
True. So now our honorable mentions. Now I kind of wanted to keep it at a short limit because we can't just be throwing out a bunch of different anime because like it's the top 5. So I'm limiting myself to only 3 honorable mentions.
I got you. I'm there as well.
Okay, so we had 3. I'm gonna just name them all. I'm gonna rattle them off real quick. And this is not a coincidence. This really happened. One of them, Trigun.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful.
Another one, Sword Art Online Season 1, specifically.
Okay, beautiful.
Season 1. And then, this is the one that's gonna kill me. But I'm not gonna add any more. Hunter x Hunter. those are my 3 honorable mentions.
Your list. So look, none of those are bad though. Like all of those are great.
It was okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was between Hunter x Hunter. It was between Demon Slayer, but it's not done yet, so I can't.
Well, the Demon Slayer, we're gonna talk about that another time. But Demon Slayer obviously is amazing. All right. So good. So here, I'm gonna throw you my honorable mentions. My honorable mention actually is completely different than yours. And I'm pretty sure one of these you haven't seen. But I'm gonna tell you the ones that didn't make my list at all, that weren't even close. Or they were closer, but they weren't gonna make the list. Inuyasha. And I chose Inuyasha because it was another one of those anime that kind of hit me where I was learning what anime was.
At that right time.
It stuck with me. Yeah, it stuck with me, right? Wind Scar. Everyone knows what the Wind Scar is. If you don't know what the Wind Scar is, go home.
I'm going home.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what that is. Oh, no, the Wind Scar and Inuyasha. Okay, no, you're still talking about Inuyasha. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then Hajime no Ippo, or The Fighting Ippo. It's a boxing anime. If anyone knows.
Actually, Javon told me about that one. He watched that one and liked it a lot.
Dude, my boy Keith put me on the Hajime no Ippo. Keith. Right. I came over to his house one day. We were coming over to play like Smash Bros or something like that. And he was like, "Hey, bro, Telle, have you seen Hajime no?" I'm like, "No, I haven't seen it. That sounds stupid. Well, who wants to watch a boxing anime?"
True.
I watched it. The dude his family are fishers. They're a family of fisher. And he is like getting bullied, and he goes to learn how to box. Come to find out, because he's a fisher, he's constantly pulling off hundreds of pounds of fish out of the water.
So
this
he's
guy's
super strong.
Got all the muscle in the world and knocking dudes out left and left.
Oh,
like every punch he throws is a knockout, and it's like it's not really that easy, because obviously there's some trials and tribulations. What I really like about Hajime no Ippo, he doesn't have the plot armor that everyone has.
True.
So it's a really good anime. I think everyone should check that out, but it's not going to make my top 5. And then my one that almost made the list, Parasite the Maxim.
Oh yeah, Parasite.
And the only reason Parasite the Maxim didn't make the list is because the ending. The ending was so wishy-washy. It was like some people loved it, some people didn't. I was like kind of like, okay, I'll take it because I'm all for artist interpretation, artist perspective. But my issue with the ending,
it wasn't no season 2.
Yeah, there was no season 2, so he just kind of like, it was like cut off. Like, you know, everybody was mad at Sopranos, something like that. Parasite the Maxim, it ended where, boom, that's the end. But I do think that the entire series was good. Another one of those psychological anime, but it has that action in it. So that's my honorable mentions.
What a great top 5. All y'all top 5s are super good. Like
super good.
Thank y'all so much for writing in to Mic Check Waifu Waifu at gmail.com. Make sure if you have any questions about us or the anime we watch or any questions at all, feel free to write in at that email and we'll of course read it on air. The way we decided to end every episode of the podcast is with a ongoing series. Now, this is for the people who hasn't seen who hasn't seen it yet. But right now, the ongoing series that we're going to talk about is Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer is an anime that's still going on right now. We're watching it on Verve. It's subbed only, but how do I want to word this? I guess we're going to basically talk about the latest episode. So you have to be caught up to episode 11 because that's the episode that just aired. So make sure you're caught up on episode 11 because we're about to spoil the shit out of it and talk about how much we love this anime and what we love about it. So if you haven't watched it yet, you can click off the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Share it with your friends again. Rate this on iTunes. Give it 5 stars and all that other good stuff. Tweet it out. We will greatly appreciate it. So if you left, I'm sorry, but this is the spoiler section. Thanks for listening. We love you. And Telle.
All right,
let's talk about episode 11 of Demon Slayer. Now, again, this is if you're already caught up to episode 11 of Demon Slayer. We're not going to go back. We're not going to talk about the story of how it started. This is only if you already watched it.
All right, yeah.
Episode 11. So to start off, man, what a great show and what a great episode to this show. Now, at the beginning, I'm not going to lie, Telle, I hated it because we met, what's his name? Zetsua? Zenitsu, yes.
Yeah.
We met him and he was fucking pissing me off. God, he aggravated me so bad that entire episode because it started off with him begging a girl to marry him because I'm gonna die.
You gotta have one.
I guess.
You gotta have the one, right?
Yeah, so, man.
I agree entirely. Zenitsu was something that I didn't want, but I do think that it's really cool aspect that he is the most like bright of all the Demon Slayers, but he also is the only one that has like a sparrow. Everyone else has a crow.
Yeah.
So I think he is a nice like twist to it, but I don't like his character. I'm just gonna give you that. I don't like his character.
He doesn't even understand a sparrow. He doesn't like. Ugh.
Yeah, I could live without him, but he has to play some pivotal role to the story, right?
Yeah, and you could tell what they were trying to do, right? Like, okay, so the episode starts off with them meeting each other. The crow tells them basically while he's begging for the girl, hey, hurry up and get to the next mission because the next mission is super important. They're telling them like to run, and then of course they're still walking and stuff.
Yeah.
So when they're walking to their next mission, of course, Tanjiro, which is the main character, for those of you who don't know, but of course you know because we're talking about this. He gets to the house because he smells it, of course, because of his keen sense of smelling. They get to the house, and we find out here that how you say his name again,
Zenitsu or whatever you want. How you want to say it, bro?
Yeah. Zetsu, whatever. I'm gonna call him Zetsu. We figure out that he has a keen sense of hearing, which is kind of a super like I don't know, kind of plot armory to me because Tajiro's good with smells and Zetsuwa is good with fucking hearing. Like that's a little on the nose, but I mean it's okay with me. We figure out about his hearing and we meet those 2 kids whose brother was taken and they follow the blood trail to the house. Tajiro leaves his sister who's in that box with the kids to watch him, and then we get into the house and fucking Zetsu, of course, freaks out,
loses all of it,
loses his freaking mind because Tajiro tells him, hey, I have a broken leg and a broken rib from my last fight, so I'm gonna need your help. And he's like, yo,
hold on. Let's talk about how, first of all, I have a broken rib and a broken leg.
Yeah.
I walk in and I'm good though. Like, don't worry, I can walk. No, I'm perfectly fine. I don't even look hurt.
Yeah, exactly. But that training that boy got, man, that broken leg and a ain't shit.
Yeah, that's light work for him.
Yeah, it's light work for him.
But yeah, as they walk in, right? You know, they're kind of they kind of go through this whole scenario where they hear the beating of the drums, right? And as the drums are beating,
that's before though. That's like before that is fucking Zetsuo booty bumps.
Oh, yeah,
Jiro and the little sister because the kids decide they're gonna run into the house. Like, yo, I told you to stay outside because I had something to protect you, and you decide to run in here with us.
Oh yeah. And they leave the box outside, which is supposed to protect them. Obviously, it's Nezuko inside the box, so she's inside the box. So she's supposed to protect them, but they leave the box outside. And Tanjiro, he explains how, oh man, that box is worth more to me than my own life, and you just left it outside. So we don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah,
they get booty bumped into a whole nother room, and then when they get booty bumped into a whole nother room, they freaking they hear the drums, and the room completely changed to the beat of the drum, which was insane to me. That was I like that part a lot. Yeah, like it was and it just changed each time.
Well, the beauty in that to me is that like all the demons we've seen so far have had some kind of different like quirk to them or some different power that revolves around something like that. Where like this one had the drums on his body, and it appears I think he had like 3 drums on his body or something like that. Yep. All of them may do something different in terms of how they shift the environment. But he hits the drum, and each time he hits it, the room changes or something like that, and then he hits another one, and the room actually turns on its side.
Right.
And it actually, I think there's a nice call to how powerful this one may specifically be, because he's like, this one clearly this is his turf. How they said in the beginning, demons don't like other demons on their turf. Mm-hmm. Why do they keep coming to hunt in his area?
But I think towards the beginning of it, what's his name said he smelled like other demons in this house. Like he was sharing his house. Like the demons were sharing his house as one.
Yeah.
And as we were watching it, like before it cut to the dude like actually showing up with the drums on his body, it cut to Zetsuo with the older brother after they split up, and like the older brother's looking for his sister, like, hey, where are you? And Zetsuo was like, yo, chill out. You gonna make the monsters come see us. And then he'd figure out that the room changes completely when they tried to exit. And come to find out, it's this dude who I thought, I'm not gonna lie to you, Telle, I thought that was another demon with his pig head on.
Right.
Bolting out the room.
So it's the he has like a boar head on, right?
Yeah.
Because he's got the horns on it. And I'm like, so first of all, not only is he badass from being able to jump around the walls like that, is he Spider-Man Jr.? But what I really want to know is, why is he got 2 swords? Why is his swords different? Is he a demon hunter? What's happening with this dude, right?
I thought it was a demon. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So like, I'm assuming he's a demon hunter because he has swords, but the perspective behind it is that like, we don't know what he is, and he clearly is hiding his entire face. So we don't know what's going on with him yet.
I didn't figure out what was going on with him until Tanjiro said, like, I smell something coming, but it's not another demon. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. And he comes busting in with his swords, and he start doing his whole little speech about how I'm gonna kill you or whatever. And that's where it ends. And I was fucking pissed because I'm like, yo, now I gotta wait another week to figure out what's gonna happen next.
Right, that is the worst part. We gotta wait till next week to see what happens next.
Yeah, right? and this is one of those animes that don't do the on next episode shit. It just does like a little mini movie that's completely useless. I'm pissed about that, but the show is so good, man. The fight scenes, the storyline behind it all, it's just the animation. It's great.
I'm gonna tell you something. As you already know, I'm an avid manga reader. I love reading the manga. I started reading the manga for this one, and I stopped.
Yeah, you said that.
I stopped. This anime has spoiled me entirely too much. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna read this one
because the animation is so clean.
You better believe I'm not gonna read this one by any means. It's entirely too good to read. And I hate to say that, like, because obviously I think that reading is important, but watching this one, like, if you read it, you're gonna know the story, and you're not gonna get the animation behind it, right? Mm-hmm. I want to get that animation, dude. Their budget is in the animation, dude. Like 100%. The voice acting is perfectly fine. I have no complaints with the voice acting. The animation is what's carrying this. The voice acting is not. It's not like it's horrible voice acting. It's great voice acting.
Super good.
Great animation. Action is great. everything so far. The storyline is great, and they're just, this is carrying me. Please,
100%.
carry me the next week because I'm ready.
Yeah, right. I can't wait. When does it air? Like every Thursday?
So like if you have Verve, it'll be out on Saturday night.
Saturday night. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But Sunday is when most people are gonna watch it, obviously, because you wake up, you can just have it on.
Yeah, true. So that's when y'all can check that out, man. Watch episode 12 because of course we're gonna be talking about this one, giving our thoughts about it. But man, I must say, this has been a fantastic episode.
Definitely.
The first episode of Mic Check Waifu Waifu is in the books.
Waifu.
Dude, thank you for that name idea, by the way. I guess we can talk about that next week on how we got the name, but
yeah, you made that up though.
I know, but it was such a brilliant idea. I couldn't stop thinking about it after you said, I'm like, God damn it. That's but yeah, man, what a great episode, man. I had fun. This was fun. Again, this is something we're both new at, so it may be a little rough for this first episode, but stick with it. Come back for next week for episode 2. It's going to again air Tuesdays at 9:30 a.m. We appreciate you guys for writing in, for talking to us, for showing us some love. Write in, let us know what you think, what you like, what's different, and I guess we'll see y'all next episode, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace.